Hey everybody. I'm gonna make some lunch and I'm gonna talk a little bit. I don't want this to be like a mukbang or anything because I don't know. I don't like to watch people eating. I might eat a little bit, but I'm not gonna get all lip smacky up in your face. Trying to think of what I'm gonna make. Probably, I kind of want to make a sandwich, but I feel like if I go with something a little more intensive, maybe some like pasta or something. Yeah, I think that's good. Let me get some pasta. Mini bow tie noodles. I love bow tie noodles. I don't know why. And mini are just, it makes it even better. So I need the noodles. I need a pot. I'm just making enough for myself. So I'm just going to use this medium pot. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to turn on the pot, let it start boiling, put some extra virgin olive oil. Oh, damn, I have name brand olive oil. Never get name brand olive oil. It's not Rachel Ray stuff. That stuff is insane. Like, you ever hear her talking about her EVOO? It's like, that stuff is, it's like double the price of even this like name brand stuff. And it's like, oh, Rachel Ray. But anyways, I'd like to talk about a few things. You know, I have been really nervous to start YouTube, and you know, it's been something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I kind of always get in my head about it, and you know, I overthink it, and then one thing I start doing is I start watching other YouTubers like Peter Mon. For example, he's a really good vlogger, and I watch other people's videos and I'm like, okay, how could I be exactly like them? And it's like, that's not the point. That's not why we watch YouTube. We watch YouTube to see different points of view and different people's personalities, and I hope that I can convey some of my personality in this video. But yeah, so the first thing that I'd like to talk about is the fact that just yesterday I started medication for ADHD, and now I've never been diagnosed until yesterday, actually, with ADHD. It was something that, like, looking back on it, like looking back to my childhood, like I totally see it. You know, it's something that's normally diagnosed when people are, you know, when you're a kid, because it's a lot easier to see. It's like, okay, they're not doing great in school, you know, they're constantly hyper and jumping around and just can't focus on anything. And I was kind of like that, and throughout all of school I kind of just got like passable grades. And in my family they didn't really believe in like mental health, so it was like, oh, you know, not doing your homework, it's like, just try harder. And it's like, I would try harder, but it would wear off so quickly. But regardless of that, yeah, I went to my psychiatrist, and what, like, at this age, which I'm 26, by the way, I think, yeah, 26. At this age, my problem with ADHD is, like, one thing is I get, like, really hardcore obsessions. Like, my most recent obsession was steel books. Like, I'll show you guys my steel books in the future because I love them. It's basically just metal packaging for a movie. You know, Best Buy normally does them, but I think like Target is getting in the game and Walmart has them and stuff. But yeah, it's just a collectible, and it looks, you know, has nice artwork on it besides just getting the DVD or whatever. But like that, for example, or a few months ago it was like Marvel movies, which I still love Marvel movies, but my thing is, like, when I start to enjoy something like a Marvel movie, then for weeks or months I just like go full force and just want to, you know, immerse myself in that world. So it's like any free time I have, I'm watching a Marvel movie, I'm looking things up on my phone about the movies, about the comics and all that kind of stuff. And then with the steelbooks, it's like, I went to Best Buy once to get a Marvel movie. This is how the transition happened. I went to Best Buy to get a movie, and I noticed I had never seen one. I'd probably seen them, but I didn't know what they were. I saw the steelbook for it was Ant-Man, I believe, and I just thought it was so cool. I bought it, and then I just had to look up more of the movies and what their steelbooks looked like, and ended up going back to Best Buy. Sorry about that, I just got a phone call. But yeah, it was like with the movies, where it's like any free time I had, I'd be watching one of the Marvel movies. With the steelbooks, any time that I had some extra money or some extra time, like if I was just going out grocery shopping or just had some extra time, I'd go to Best Buy every time I'd go out, and I'd come home with at least 1 or 2 steelbooks. And you know, it's hard to pinpoint like that something is an obsession, because you know, you could have interests, you could have hobbies and collect things and stuff without having like ADD or ADHD or anything like that. But the difference for me is where I can't think of anything else. Like, I'll just constantly be on my phone looking, comparing a steelbook from Japan and what it's going to look like at Best Buy in this place, and on the steelbook subreddit, and just looking up everything I could look up and comparing artwork side by side. And it's like, where it impacts me is like, I'll go over to friends and family's houses, and I'll walk in the door on my phone looking at what I'm obsessing about. And you know, there's been a lot of times that's made people think that I was being rude, which I'm not a rude person. Like, I love people. I think that I'm, you know, pretty social, but when I'm like really invested in my phone, I know it's a problem a lot of people have, but yeah, I just don't stop looking at my phone and make it more that the people I'm around are like a side thought, which is terrible. But hold on, let me get this pasta in. Now, I do check how long it takes, and I set a timer. I know that that's like really dumb, and I should be able to, at 26, make pasta without a timer. I can, but I don't have that kind of confidence, you know? So let's see, this is 7 minutes. So I'm gonna put some in, but not all of it. Okay, that's good. Aren't these things so cute though? Look how tiny. Look at that little bow tie. I love that. But yeah, so I was having all these obsessions, and over the past year, I've had like Life is Strange, the video game, which I'd like to play through on YouTube sometime, or Twitch or something. I played those games, and then I was just obsessed with the whole world, and you know, they released comic books, and you know, I was constantly looking up the comic books and seeing when they're coming out and comparing the cover variants and all that stuff, to the point where it was just all I thought about. But I didn't think until recently that I'm like, could this be something that's like actually wrong with me? Like, can I in a more healthy way enjoy my hobbies and my interests and things like that? So I decided to go to a psychiatrist, which I've been to a psychiatrist before. I want to say like a year and a half, or yeah, probably about a year ago. I went to a psychiatrist, and you know, at that time I was having a lot of stress. You know, me and my wife just had a baby, and you know, when you have a baby, you're up like all hours of the night. So you know, I'd be awake all night and then go to work, and then you know, neither of us were getting any sleep, and it was you know, stressful, just as having a baby is. But I went to a psychiatrist, and they were like, oh, you know, you don't have motivation, you can't sleep, oh, you're depressed. And it's like, okay, at that time I see how like my symptoms could have you know, pointed to depression, but also like I was basically just stressed, you know. And I think that that was misconstrued as depression, which I was on like a bunch of different depression medications, bipolar, all that kind of stuff, which all of those really messed with me. It's like the doctors would be, you know, tell me the side effects, and like with mental health medication, it's like side effects are really dangerous. Like the one I was on might have been Zoloft. They're like, so if you have suicidal thoughts, make sure to call us. And it's like, what? Like, you're giving me something, like, you think I'm depressed, so you're giving me something that could make me want to kill myself. And that's insane. Like, the fine line of like, oh, it can make you happier and, you know, not want to do anything rash like that. Or it could just have the complete opposite effect and make you 100 times worse. Oh, I forgot to set a timer. It's been what, like a minute? Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Starting now.
I knew I should have set a timer, but I was too busy talking about it. But yeah, so I was on those medications, and every medication that they were like, hey, watch out for this, call us if this happens and we need to stop it immediately. I'd take the medication and I'd have those adverse side effects. So I didn't really have a good experience with psychiatrists in general. But I went to a new one yesterday, and you know, I talked about my obsessions. I talked about the fact that it's hard for me to like focus, especially if somebody's like talking a lot or talking quickly. It kind of like turns into just like a blurred, jumbled mess to me. And that again is another thing that people construe as me being rude, because you know, I'll start looking at my phone, I'll start doing other things, whatever, and it's like I'm not meaning to be rude. It just kind of like hurts my brain to focus too much. But yeah, I talked to her about all that kind of stuff, and you know, she recommended a few different medications, which I don't remember the names of all of them. There was like Vyvanse, not Ritalin, but something else like that. And she brought up Adderall, but she said that it's really dangerous. Like, Adderall is the ADD medication that's practically like meth. It's an amphetamine, which you know, that has a lot of like street value and stuff. So she wanted to stay away from that. So I'm trying Concerta, I don't know, but it's different, and it's like time release. So it's not like I take it and then I'm like, oh my god, gotta go around and do all this stuff. But it's a stimulant, which is interesting that you treat a disorder of like overstimulation with something that stimulates you more. But it's also interesting to think that if somebody without ADD or ADHD were to take my medication, it would make them like wired, like kind of like cocaine, you know, just having to run around and do things and constantly be active and stuff like that. But with me, it kind of makes me feel like, I don't know how normal or like neurotypical people feel after they've had a cup of coffee, where I'm just like, you know, I'm up, I see things that need to be done and I do them, or I make a mental note and actually get to it, like, oh, there's a lot of laundry piling up, I gotta do that, before I would just move on and do something else and completely forget about that. But the past 2 days, it's been more of like I can actually set goals or get things done in a non like rushy, like before I would get like bursts of energy where it's like, okay, now it's house cleaning, I'm gonna clean the whole house and do it all. It's like, no, you can have in between. You could do the laundry and pick up around the house. You don't have to spring clean every time you do it. But yeah, so I feel really good now. One thing about me is I'm very prone to feeling placebo effects. Like, I'm really the kind of person that if you gave me a sugar pill and said like, hey, this'll, I don't know, it'll make you feel like you smoked weed and it'll make you like giggly. That'll work on me. I mean, it might after a while wear off, but yeah, I'm very much the kind of person that I take a pill, like I take Advil, for example, and I feel like the second I swallow the pill, I feel better, which I know that's not how it works. So other people might feel like it takes longer, but to me, I don't know, I feel good. Like, honestly, the reason I'm making this video is because, like, because of the medication I'm on and the way I'm feeling now, is I've wanted to, like I said earlier, for so long, make a YouTube video, and, you know, I would just overthink it and, you know, just try to be like everybody else and, like, set up, like, I have a DSLR camera, and I'd, like, set up my DSLR camera on a really nice tripod and have, like, pretty professional lighting and a really nice microphone and all that kind of stuff. And it just, like, even though it was like, okay, well, at least my video will be high quality, it made the pressure even worse. Alexa, stop. All right. She says that the noodles are ready. Okay. So let's drain these noodles and bring me over here. Sorry about this. All right. It's a good amount of noodles, right? Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, so let me put you back up here. Okay, I have a really weird setup right now. You're being held up by a measuring cup, a Pyrex measuring cup, and sitting on some glass bowls. So yeah, like I said, I would kind of try too hard, and that would put so much more pressure on me than just like, hey, just talk. Just use your phone, talk to the camera, don't put too much pressure on yourself. And yeah, I finally have the motivation to do that. Now I'm making pasta right now because I felt like I didn't want, you know, I didn't even want to just like have to look at the camera the whole time. I want to be able to distract myself. But yeah, sorry this video has been so much of talking about this video, but really happy about it. And you know, whether I get views or not, you know, I'm happy that I put myself out there. Oh my god, I got a noodle on the burner, and it's a tiny noodle, so I don't know what to do. Oh god, hey, okay. No fires today, good. All right, so I got my pasta, looks delicious. I'm gonna bowl it up. This looks like a nice bowl. Put this in a bowl. Oh, ow. Okay. I just dropped the noodle right on my wrist. It wasn't too hot. The sauce was cold. So, alright. You know, I don't want to go through the hassle of setting this up somewhere else and eating at the table. I'm pretty comfortable here. Just need to make sure this is off. Alright, but looks nice. I used, oh my god, this is my favorite pasta sauce. It's Bertolli Vineyard Marinara with Merlot. I don't know if you can see that okay. But it's really good. It's like slightly more expensive than like Prego. But it's definitely worth it. Like they have good Alfredo sauce too. And I don't know. It tastes more like something that you'd get in like an Italian restaurant, you know? It's really good. But anyways, yeah, so like I said, I don't want this to be a mukbang, so I don't want to eat too much or be obnoxious about it, like Trisha Paytas, who just eats so obnoxiously, and like there's YouTubers that like, and I'm pretty sure it's a whole subcategory of YouTube where it's like they'll have cameras like right up close to their face as they're eating. And I don't know how people would enjoy that. Like, I don't know, I guess sometimes watching people eating is entertaining. Like, for me, it would be like a food eating contest or something. But even that's like, I don't want to see your mouth contents, you know? Like, just eat the food. I don't want to hear you crunching on it. But, I don't know, I'm also really picky when it comes to like, you know, eating quietly. Like if I'm around someone at dinner who's just like, it's like I can't not be distracted by that. It's like, you have to be trying to eat that loud. I feel like there's no, it's so natural to just, you know, like I eat, I put the food in my mouth. I chew it, swallow it, and then I'm done eating. You know, that's it's as easy as that. You know, but yeah, I don't want to keep eating on camera. Not because like I feel like rude about it or anything. It just, I don't know. I feel like I'm pressured to eat in a certain way. Like, I have to be like, oh my god, this is so good, guys. This is the best pasta in the world. Yep. Pasta review. Alright, everybody, this is mini bow tie noodles, Bertolli sauce, rated a 6. Penguins at a 8. 6 out of 8. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good place to be for any sort of food. I really go over a 6. But yeah, that's my pasta review, guys. You know, you got a Bertolli and Barilla. I don't know. You got these together, you're not gonna lose. And that was the point of this video, is to trick you into buying pasta sauce. This is not sponsored. See you next time. Wasn't too hot. The sauce was cold. So I don't want to go through the hassle of setting this up somewhere else and eating at the table. I'm pretty comfortable here. Just need to make sure this is off. Alright, but looks nice. I used, oh my god, this is my favorite pasta sauce. It's Bertolli Vineyard Marinara with Merlot. I don't know if you can see that okay. But it's really good. It's like slightly more expensive than like Prego. But it's definitely worth it. Like, they have good Alfredo sauce too, and I don't know. It tastes more like something that you'd get in like an Italian restaurant. You know, it's really good. But anyways, yeah. So like I said, I don't want this to be a mukbang, so I don't want to eat too much or be obnoxious about it, like Trisha Paytas, who just eats so obnoxiously. And like, there's YouTubers that like, and I'm pretty sure it's a whole subcategory of YouTube where it's like they'll have cameras like right up close to their face as they're eating, and I don't know how people would enjoy that. Like, I don't know, I guess sometimes watching people eating is entertaining. Like, for me it would be like a food eating contest or something. But even that's like, I don't want to see your mouth contents, you know? Like, just eat the food. I don't want to hear you crunching on it. But I don't know, I'm also really picky when it comes to like, you know, eating quietly. Like, if I'm around someone at dinner who's just like, it's like I can't not be distracted by that. It's like, you have to be trying to eat that loud. I feel like there's no, it's so natural to just, you know, like I eat, I put the food in my mouth. I chew it, swallow it, and then I'm done eating. You know, that's it's as easy as that, you know. But yeah, I don't want to keep eating on camera. Not because like I feel like rude about it or anything. It just, I don't know. I feel like I'm pressured to eat in a certain way. Like, I have to be like, oh my god, this is so good, guys. This is the best pasta in the world. Yep. Pasta review. Alright, everybody, this is mini bow tie noodles, Bertolli sauce, rated a 6. Penguins at a 8. 6 out of 8. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good place to be for any sort of food. I really go over a 6. But yeah, that's my pasta review, guys. You know, You got a Bertolli and Barilla. I don't know. You got these together, you're not gonna lose. And that was the point of this video, is to trick you into buying pasta sauce. This is not sponsored. See you next time.